Good evening and welcome to True Dugman Encounters. I'm your host, Marvin Allen. If you or anybody that you've known have had a sighting or encounter and would like for me to share it on my channel, then please contact me. I would love to hear from you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Like, comment, and share. Well, as you all know, I'm getting ready to start my lives back up soon because I got some eyewitnesses set up. So we're gonna be doing that real soon. But I'm gonna start uploading more and more of these encounters because I done collected enough of them where I can start pushing them out and giving y'all a few a week. The thing about this, man, we can talk about this subject over and over and never get to the bottom of it. That's why I broke out the habit of when somebody tell me they seen something or heard something, I'ma listen to them. I'm not gonna brush them off and say go ahead with your crazy self. I'm not gonna do that. Because you can help that person. Because some people keep this in for years. I mean, decades. They keep it in. All because they don't want to be ridiculed. So, in a way, I don't blame them. You know, like I said before, if y'all want me to upload any other encounters on any cryptids, please leave a comment in the group or my messengers. And I will do that because we don't have to always do Doug Man. That's our main topic and our main subject. But we cover all cryptids. Not just this, we cover them all. So, like I said, drop me a message and let me know what y'all want to hear and listen to, and I'll upload them. Yeah, but we just need to get to the bottom of this. Find out what this creature is. And I'm going to stress that all the time. What is it? What is purpose here? Are they guardians? Me, myself, they was here before we was. So when people move on to some land and they purchase it, and the first thing we'll say is, man, I got these creatures out here on my property. The thing is, though, these beings, creatures, have been there first. That's their home. So they're gonna do everything they gotta do to protect it. Their home, their family, and their young ones. That's just like us as humans. If somebody comes into our home, invade our space, we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna protect it. And we're gonna do whatever we have to do to protect our family, point blank, hands down. And like I said, though, if anybody want to come on the show and talk, you can. You can come on and tell your own encounter if you want, if you don't want me to tell it. But we can restart our lives back up. We're going to make it interesting because every time we go live, we're going to do a different subject, a different cryptid. We still gonna throw Doug Man in there, but we still gonna cover other cryptids too. Because I know y'all want to hear other things. So drop me a line and let me know. As you know, anonymity is a must. And I breaks that for no one. So without further ado, let's jump right into this encounter. Before I dig in deep in this encounter, I asked a question in the group, and I always ask a question: do you think some are good and evil? And they on both sides. Some say they good and some say some I'm bad. But this encounter I'm gonna tell you right here, it stems just from that. From a person who never ever believed it in these creatures will come to find out that one that he thought didn't exist would aid him in his friends. But enough of that. Let's jump right into this. Now, this encounter right here, it happened in Pennsylvania. And it happened in the southwest part of Pennsylvania. Now, my eyewitness was a Navy vet. He in his late 50s. Now, his Navy buddies used to always invite him to come up Pennsylvania to do some camping and hunting, because they was always boasting on how good the fishing and hunting was there at their family cabin. And it's set at the bottom of this ridge. But my eyewitness told them that he'll come soon to visit. So weeks would pass. So he finally took them up on their offer. Now, he started the 12-hour trip. And this was in June of last year, 2021, when it all happened. He said because when he was younger, that's all he used to do, go camping and fishing. So it was a part of him that missed all of that. So he finally gets there. And when he gets there, his buddies was just happy to see him. So it was almost beginning to be sunset. So they sat around, shooting the breeze, talking about their old Navy days. And as he was listening to them talk about the hunting and fishing, my witness said he was pumped. He was ready. He couldn't wait till the next day. So around 1 p.m., they hiked about 7 miles into deep, desolate woods. They came upon a trail, and they followed that trail. Said it seemed like they walked forever. Now, my witness said it was starting to get dark. There, they finally came to their campsite. He said it was really peaceful. It was quiet. He said he looked up in the sky and all he seen was thousands and thousands of stars. So they pitched their tent, and they settled in Markdale. And then my eyewitness started to collect firewood. So he said that he would walk and do that. So he walked about 30 yards, picking up pieces of woods. Now, as he was walking, my witness said that he started to hear the funniest sounds coming from the woods. He said, but he just knew it was his friends. So he yelled out, man, stop playing. Y'all know I got this 45 on my side. But no response. He walked a little more. Again, he started to hear weird sounds. But this time it's like whistling, hooting, and chattering. So he said to himself that maybe it was other people out there camping. So he said that he had collected enough big pieces of wood. That's when he began to turn around and head back. As he was walking back, he heard footsteps to his left and to his right. He would stop. These steps would stop. So he said he jogged a little bit. And he said whatever it was on his left and right did the same thing. So he called out to his buddies again. Hey, won't y'all stop playing? No answer. So he stood there, listening. He said it was dead quiet. He said you couldn't hear nothing around. And as he stood there, he heard something walk again. He said this thing was so heavy that he felt the ground shake. He said he just had this eerie feeling. So he dropped all the wood that he had in his hands. And he came down to one knee, already in position with the red laser on point. He called out to his buddies again. He said, stop playing around. I'm on point. Next, all he could hear was this deep, heavy breathing and growling. So hard that he said it radiated through his chest like a bass drum. He said just when he was about to shoot, he saw two glow sticks coming towards him on the trail about 30 feet away. He hollered out, "Is that you guys?" He said they responded, "Yeah." He said, "We came looking for you because you was taking too long. We wanted to make sure you were okay." I said, "I don't know, but something ain't right." He said as they got closer, then he told him, take a knee, south, east, and southwest. They asked, why? What's wrong? He said, something out there. I don't know what it is, but it's close and it's big. Then he looked up and seen one of his buddies' mouth just drop. He had this scared look on him. That's when my eyewitness said he knew something was behind him. So he took a roll forward. Then as he came out of the roll, he pointed up. To his surprise, something out of a nightmare. This 7 to 8 foot wolf creature on 2 legs, snarling, slime coming out of his mouth, head bigger than I ever seen, pointed ears, massive shoulders, chest like a bodybuilder. And it had canine legs. And it had those yellow glowing eyes. As I stared at this creature, it then began to run towards me and my friends. He said, as this creature started to run, a boulder as big as a bowling ball came out of nowhere and struck this wolf thing in his head, knocking it down the ravine. That's when it gave out this horrible howl, like a dog being hit by a car, but 10 times louder, with a howl of pain. That wolf thing had to be at least 7 to 8 feet tall. And the eyes was just bright yellow. Something I would never, ever forget. And this was something I never believed in, a wolf man. But I seen it. We seen it. As I turned towards my Navy partners, I asked them, where's your weapons? They said we did not bring them. We didn't think that we needed them. We left them at the campsite. Then we all hurried up and began to walk back on that path. As we started to walk back down that path, we saw something else. We saw another Wolfman. But this one looked it bigger. And it started running straight at us. As this creature ran towards us, something came out of nowhere and struck this creature with a tree. Crack! All I could hear was bones crushing as this wolfman fell down the ravine. That's when I looked up, and out of nowhere, this 10-foot Bigfoot, which I never believed in, stepped out onto the trail with this big, huge log still in his hand. As it got closer, I noticed that it was a female, and I could tell by the breasts. Just when we thought it was over, another Bigfoot stepped out. This one had to be at least 12 feet. It looked at us and gave us this weird smile as the female Bigfoot pointed down the trail like she was telling us to go. Move down the trail quickly. So we did. Then we came upon the campsite. We started another small fire, and each one of us stood watch all night. As I stood watch, I gave all my thanks to the Bigfoots as they circled our camp. As they were circling our camp, I hear something creeping. But you can hear the sticks, twigs, and leaves crunching. That's when I look over my shoulder and I see a set of yellow eyes. As I stared at these eyes, I could still hear this thing walking towards our camp. As it walked towards our camp, now I could see what this thing was. It was one of these Wolfman creatures, another one. As it came closer, just inside of the tree line where our campsite was at. And it stood there, growling. That's when I could hear the Bigfoots running. One to the left of me and one to the right, coming around. As the wolf creature looked, it's like his eyes got big. The male came in with this stick, striking this wolf creature in the head. This thing let out a horrible sound, sounds that I never heard before, and it was loud. And it just took off running. It's like it was crashing into stuff, trees, bam, boom. And the Bigfoot stood there. And the big male looked at me again and smiled. It's like they was telling me and my buddies that we were gonna be all right. So as daybreak was getting ready to break, I took some things that we had and took it inside the woods and set it down for the Bigfoots. And we packed up and we left. I never believed in nothing like this. I never knew that I would come face to face with something that you see on TV. But they are real, and it made me out of a believer. And that was my witness encounter. I'm gonna upload this, and if I got time, get ready for another one. Let's get it.